Welcome, my friend. Welcome to Touching the Edge. Welcome to this new year in which you are charting the direction for the rest of your life. This year is the very beginning of the rest of your life. And as you move through this first part of the year, the first 4 months of the year, the trajectory that you build right now will carry you through your year. And this year will carry you through your life. So let's build an incredible positive vibration this year. Let's not just build with it, but connect with the positive vibration, the cosmic vibration, the positive vibration that's there. And so I want to ask you to be sure that you're choosing good advisors. You know, sometimes we all need advice. We need people to give us a perspective, or not just people, but get a perspective that allows us to move towards where we're going. We want to be able to see the flow. When you are really truly present, when you are in the moment, you achieve that moment that Jung described as synchronicity. You find flow, you find multiple things that happen at the same time that lead you in the direction that you're meant to go. When you are having your eyes open, you're going to find that right person, that right book, that right sign in the world that's leading you to where you need to be. At the same time, we also want to be aware of advisors that are leading us in the wrong place. It reminds me of the Shakespeare play Othello. You know, Othello was a Moor, a great general, and he was a great leader. He was in Spain in a situation where he was isolated racially, the only person of African descent, or obviously African descent in this area. He was married to his wife, and who he was deeply in love with, and had his main advisor, Iago. Iago was incredibly jealous of him and built upon this latent jealousy in Othello. And he built on that and told him lies about his wife. And gradually he built a rage in Othello that became uncontrollable. And eventually Othello kills his wife, who loved him dearly. And at that point, after he's already killed his wife, it becomes clear that he has actually been mistaken, that he has followed the wrong advice, and that he's killed that which he loved the most. And so I want to suggest to you, make sure that you're aware of people who tell you things that you kind of want to hear, tell you things that tell you about your victimization, that focus in your bitterness. We want to make sure that we set limits, and we want to be sure that we set limits against those power brokers who are trying to oppress us. And at the same time, we don't want to live from the center of victimization. We want to make sure that we are coming from a reality deeper than that. There's something in us that exists before anything that we deal with in the world. Any conflict we have, or any oppression we have, or any person that Carlos Castaneda would describe as the petty dictator. Be aware of those who stimulate your relationship to your grievances, your anger, your fears. Be aware of those elements, like in the news, that stimulate your relationship to fear and hatred. And remember, in some sense, our greatest advisors, or at least the advisors that we think of as greatest, are our emotions. So when we feel something strongly, we're convinced that that emotion is leading to our truth, that that emotion is our truth. We feel that this rage that we are experiencing is justified. We want to understand that emotions exist for themselves. Anxiety wants to build up into fear. Fear wants to build into terror. And so we want to recognize these emotions and how we are so entranced by them. We are enchanted by them. We are transfixed by these emotions. And some part of us wants to feel what we feel most intensely. Because what we feel most intensely is our situation that sees us as a separate entity, an identified self. What you identify with, you're going to try to keep going. You're going to try to perpetuate. Even if it's an emotion that you don't like, some part of you does want to be experiencing it. So I want to suggest to you to be careful of your advisors. You are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. And recognize your true advisor comes to you from your deep wellness of authenticity. That is that comes from that stillness and peace that manifests itself as your intuition. Remember that every day when you calm and soothe your nervous system and listen intently to that still small whisper that comes from within, it is leading you in the direction that you need to go to become more fully yourself. You are not more fully yourself when transfixed by rage or hatred or fear. You are not you are not your true self when you are identified in these emotions, because at that time, instead of being responsive and be able to see everything, you're reactive and actually asleep. So if you want to get to where you want to go in this world, which is your true self, where you really want to go is this way. It's not somewhere in the world. It's coming to your own center. When you go to where you truly want to go, you become that which makes the world a better place. So I want to encourage you not to listen to the wrong advisors. You are not your emotions. Remember the speed bump and activate the speed bump regularly. Our emotions are like a subterranean river. It flows underneath the conscious level of our attention. It's rhythmic. These emotions are happening in a rhythmic fashion. These thoughts are happening in a rhythmic fashion. When we activate the speed bumps, we break the rhythm. It's like dancing with someone who's not dancing to the same beat that we are. So interrupt the rhythm of negativity. Use the speed bumps. No shame, no guilt, no judgment. Say it 3 times with intensity. I am not my body. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my emotions, and I'm not my drama. Say it 3 times with intensity. I will not entertain negative thoughts. 3 times. I love my life. Remember, it's important for you to find who your true advisor is. It is really your deepest self and not your emotions. I'm going to ring the bell and I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. What if you were in a very dark place and you had the only source of light? It's important for you to let that light shine, and you can't do it when trapped in the cloud of your deepest, darkest emotions. I bring my hands together and I bow to you and I thank you for being a hero. Namaste, my friend. Thank you.